There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the great Jeff Jacklich. Currently, well, sometimes when here's what I like to say when you play in a match where it's got an umpire, and the guy says, "Now, how do I pronounce your?" And you're playing out of is it Moraga? I say, no, I'm playing out of my van, and there's this hesitation where they go, "Oh, okay, really?" I go, "No, it's called Moraga." I think somewhere back when you and I were playing the Open, and I remember someone said, "Who knows? It might have been like a Pearson or something like that." Who just told the guy, "Yeah, man, I'm playing out of my van." So, yeah, and on my left, so and so playing out of his van. So,
That's right.
anyway, so
playing out of his parents' basement.
That's right.
Is
playing out of his cousin's couch.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, listen, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Another episode of Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. I think this is episode number 163. We are almost halfway there, Jeffrey, to
wow.
to 50% of the year that we've committed to do this, and so anyway, a lot of fun, and we really hope that our listeners or our players are getting a little nugget here and there. Guys, one thing we're still offering is a free private 10-minute coaching call. 10 minutes may not sound like a ton of time to figure something out. However, if you bring the number one thing in your game right now, whether it's stroke technique, whether it's tactics or strategies, whether it's mental, that might be something to talk about. We can help put you on the path to help you get the result that you eventually want, whether it's singles and or doubles. So way to get on that call. Go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler where you can cherry pick a date and time that works best for you. We're here to serve.
We are.
And not only with the good dispensing of knowledge and experience, but we're here to serve in terms of it's not about us in terms of our schedule. It's about you. All about you. Jeff, yesterday. Well, see, today is actually a Wednesday.
Yes.
But we're recording this on a Monday, 2 days prior. So when I say yesterday, I'm talking about Sunday.
Sunday, June 23rd.
Exactamente. Exactly. One of my all-time favorite players, and she's just getting started, Ash Barty, becomes number one in the world. And look, I mean, I love her style of play. You and I both love the way she plays the game. I absolutely love the Aussie, old school Aussie, no drama stuff. But I just love it. And to me, it's like, this is why she's winning. I mean, she's got the game. She's got all the strokes, and she's obviously, a world-class athlete.
Right.
But she's not relying on just her athleticism to be able to become number one in the world. She's obviously worked on her game in a certain way where she's not a cookie cutter, just like the rest of everybody else who's out there just kind of doing the Naomi Osaka thing, which is, let's see how big I can hit the groundies. Let's see how big I can hit the serve, and let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm in trouble. I better hit it harder.
I better, and I better show some drama out here if things aren't going my way. I better pout. I better, do whatever. And anyway. So I guess where I want to go with this is kind of your thoughts, Jeff, on are more teaching pros and coaches going to hold up Ash Barty as, look, this is the model for a junior program. The model in terms of, guys, we got to learn all the strokes. And mom and dad, I know you want us to teach your kid to be just this big grinder from the baseline because it's easier for us to teach that way. And it's way quicker for them to get some results.
Right.
But
totally.
if but if you want your kid to enjoy the game for the rest of their lives, they need to become players that are well rounded in terms of I've got all the strokes, I can play the slice, I can come in, I can chip, I can play the volley, I can play doubles. So, do you think that pros are going to start thinking or start holding up Ash Barty as the model for their program?
I think some will. Some. I'm not even going to say forward thinkers. I'm just going to say clear thinkers. Will, because they'll just see the beauty in it. Just the fact that, like you said, um, all court player, and uses all the court and you can see her thinking and throwing in the slice to this. I mean, and it's not flagrant, just like throwing stuff, and see if it sticks. It's very well executed. The change of pace, the change of ball in the strike zone, the slice, knifing the ball down, and I think, if pros aren't doing that and holding her up as the model for boys and girls, really, but definitely for the girls, to say that you have to develop all of it, and the challenge there, I think, is, again, it's going to fall back on the parents wanting instant results, the coach feeling pressured to supply that somehow because that's how we all make our money, and where's your no meter? Where's that meter to say, here's the layout of what this should look like in developing your player, and this is the best path, I believe. And so if you have that relationship with your client, with your junior, with your junior's team, the parents and whoever else is on that team, everybody should see the value in that. That it's really not important if she wins the local 12 and under,
Right. That's right.
summertime, even if it's USTA sanctioned or even if it's the sectionals or whatever, you got to look at this. You got to see the long-term plan. You got to have a long-term vision for building the parts and pieces of the game. Volleying is not something that I learned to do and then I put it on the shelf until I need it. Volleying is I'm going to say at least a 5 to 7 year focused part of your development to really build the ability to feather the ball and feel it in and get the angles and do all that stuff. You have to spend a lot of time with the racket in your hand, close to the net, and learning that aspect of it. So it's not something that, like I said, like you learn and now I'm going to put it on the shelf. It is, if your kids are not at age 12 being taught to learn how, because at 12 it's not too late.
No.
It's a good time because coordination is there. Probably strength now is there as well, so the racket itself doesn't feel like this weight in their hand. So it's probably a great time, if you haven't started developing that, to go ahead and start putting more time into it, because it's another aspect of the game that you need that in your toolbox.
Yeah.
To be able to throw this other element out there as a strategy and a tactic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think we see the results even on the tours, and the men's and women's tours, where so many of those players were not brought up doing other than just beating the crap out of the ball, forehand and backhand from the baseline, and
right.
Then you see them go out and play doubles, and they're a little bit fish out of water when it comes to a transitional volley, or just a standard volley. And I guess what I'm saying is that we've got a responsibility to help kids enjoy the game for the rest of their lives. And the chances of anyone in your junior program, or the chances, mom and dad, of your kid becoming a touring pro where they're actually making money, are slim to none. And that's okay. But what's not okay, knowing that reality,
Right.
is to subject your kid to just pounding groundies
Right.
one after
Right.
another, and then that's all they know. And by the time they get in college, they're so burnt out. They hate the game so much. If they're not playing for a top D1 school where there is a chance that if they're playing one or two that they might be able to go make a nickel or two or a cup of coffee on the
Right.
tour, is that let your kid have the experience of learning the Ash Barty style of play, because Ash Barty, if she wants to, when she retires from tennis, she'll be able to keep playing it, and whether it's just doubles or whatever. So I'm not
Yeah.
articulating
So,
what I'm trying to say, but
well, I think, again, the whole idea is that are the pros out there who are teaching juniors, that have junior programs, how much of that program is focused on developing those kids' volleys, hands, and an all-court game.
that's right. That's
I mean,
right.
that's the deal. Because the other part of it is the critical thinking aspect of it. Is that it's you're developing the geometry from a different part of the court, and it's different geometry when you're at the net than it is when you're at the baseline. Completely different geometry.
Right.
So again, you're not only developing, this my pattern work and all that from the baseline, but now you're learning how to use that geometry and the pattern work there to create opportunity to get up to the net, to have some new geometry that actually, we get done. we get done in
Well,
6
look,
or 7 shots instead of 22.
I mean,
You
the
know.
geometry clearly says, and you've emphasized this several times, is that where's the best geometry on the court where you could be standing and receiving a ball? Well, the best geometry is obviously a couple of feet from the net.
Right.
I mean, if
Right.
anyone disagrees with that, then if someone gives you a ball that you can actually touch, well, a couple of feet from the net or 5 feet, whatever, is the best geometry on the court. As you start moving
Right.
back, obviously the court starts to narrow. So to me, it's kind of like, why not learn how to get your fanny up into the best geometry in the court and
Right.
challenge from there. And so, look, I do think a lot of teaching pros and coaches, younger guys and gals especially, and again, I don't think it's their fault. I think they were raised on, hey,
Right.
you're going to grind, and you're going to have great success in the 14s or whatever your USTA section is, and
Right.
you're going to be able to play D2 or D3 ball. Terrific. That's a great level of tennis. But in terms of you being able to teach anything else, it's you better have an
Right.
open mind. And look, I'm not going to say lazy. Well, I'm going to say lazy. I'm just going to come out and say it. Is it so much easier to just teach groundies, a forehand and backhand, and get
Right.
results? It's so easy, and you're satisfying all the check boxes,
Right.
right? The kid's happy, they're getting results. Mom and dad are happy, they're seeing results, and
Right.
you're happy because they're happy.
Right.
But what's going to happen when this kid is 45 years old and all they can do is run around and grind?
Right.
They're not happy.
Right.
But
Totally. I mean, I can't even tell you how many conversations I've had with parents of juniors that, ask me for, my opinion. Well, what do you think? And these kids are, 10, 11, 12, and some of them, just stellar potential. And, and here we are, 5, 6 years later, and they ask me, and I just shoot it to them straight, and tell them exactly what I think. And here you go. And this is, if you want to do this, this is, when you go, he has to sign up for this. I tell him all these things that are like, he needs to be involved or she needs to be involved in entering the tournament. That they go online and they enter the tournament. You make sure the money's provided to make it happen. They actually set up without using their phone. When you go drive to the tournament, they have to tell you how to get to the club. I'm saying all these things like, listen, you want your kid to be an independent thinker and the ability for critical thinking in these moments, and all these other peripheral things support that. Add that up to make that happen. But and the other parts of it are do you understand your son's personality? Do you understand your daughter's personality and how they think, how they view the game through their lens when they're playing the game? Because it looks like you're doing this, but they have this kind of tendency. What do you, so, and then I'll have the same parent come back to me, over and over and over again, asking the same questions, and then not actually, taking action on anything, and watching them go out and choose somebody to work with their kid. And I'm looking at it going, wow, okay.
Why'd you even ask me?
Right. So then after that, I just, I'm not available for those questions anymore with the same people who want to, who want all this, this advice free. And I'm happy to give it, a few times you ask my opinion, I'm happy to do it. I got no worries on that. Because my goal is not to, oh my gosh, maybe I'm going to get a student. I don't care. So I'm happy to give the information, but you only get a few at bats. And then it exhausts my interest.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's my own little rant there.
Yeah. Well, look, I think I want to wrap this up today by giving our players, our senior players, whether you guys are playing in tournaments or leagues or you're the Wednesday night brew crew, whatever it is, but giving you some kind of thought here in relation to what we see with Ash Barty. And I think there are a lot of senior players out there who sort of have given up on, well, that part of the game, nah, right. I just don't see it. Or I think that part of the game is going to take way too long to be able to develop. And, the chances are if you're for whatever reason, just like, for example, strictly just a baseline player, and that's your style of play, whether it's singles, maybe even doubles, is that, look, this is the game of a lifetime because, number one, you can if assuming that you're healthy, that you can play. But the other reason I think, and the more important reason I think it's a game of a lifetime, is you're never going to come to the end of the learning curve. You're always going to be able to tinker and find and discover some new stuff. So if there's a certain area of your game that you don't want to learn about because it looks too hard, or you think it's going to take too long, all the more reason to go out there and identify it and find a coach or a teaching pro who actually is willing to show you the fundamentals of that part of the game and not try to give you the quick fix.
Right.
So, and a lot of that's just simple drills. I mean, lots of times can I teach someone, your classic forehand and backhand underspin volleys? We can talk about it, but some players can't completely copy it. They just don't. However, if you put them in that part of the court and you do some drills, like I love this one drill where I get halfway between the baseline and the service line in the middle of a quadrant. So let's say the ad quadrant, right smack dab in the middle of no man's land. And then my practice partner is on the other side, diagonally in their ad court. And we just work balls back and forth from there to kind of get used to, well, what it's like, what's it like to play shots from in this part of the court where, which by the way, if you can't be comfortable in that part of the court, I don't know how I'm going to help you. I don't think you can either, as much as good as you are, Jeff. I don't think you can help them literally go from the baseline inside the service line in a nanosecond. There's just no way.
It's not going to happen.
Anyway. All right, guys. Look, we're out. This is it. I guess we've both ranted enough today. Anyway, Ash Barty, really happy for her. And I mean, who's to say that she can't win Wimbledon? I mean, she just won the grass at, what was that, Birmingham or wherever it was, and she looks sharp. I mean, and so I don't doubt that she can't win Wimbledon. Starting next week. Guys, again, free 10-minute private coaching call with me and Jeff, a 3-way conference call on the phone. A way to get on that is to go over to goalballhunting.com, first name, email address, and then click the button and you get access to our scheduler, calendar scheduler, where you can pick a date and time that works best for you. Jeff, what would we absolutely love the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Yes, and as always, come on now, gotta get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.